glad all
Welcome back. Oh, you can welcome back again. Um, okay, let's do the last panel. It's going to be the last panel throughout the whole summit. I'll repeat one more time that we'll have at least one man. I don't know how many men we have in this panel, but I think there will be more than one in this panel. And what is it going to be about? Okay, I must tell you that whenever I have a problem to find a way to do something on my iPhone, my friends who have children always ask me to ask their kids for help. We laugh about it, but we can't deny the feeling that we can't keep up with them. We watch them using social media, we watch them using augmented reality, and being amazed, we are worrying in the same time. Because we can't deny the feeling that we no longer can serve as their guides in the new, very complex reality with new technologies everywhere, present all the time. And we can't deny worrying that we're not sure if their teachers are ready. Are they ready for the new challenges? We're going to try to answer this question in this panel, and will be led by Justyna Janiszewska. She's a CEO of Fulbright Polska. I can't see her. I hope she... OK, there she is. Welcome her very warmly. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Well, so I hope the other panelists are also ready to join me on the stage. Please come here. Don't be shy. As Bianca said yesterday, there's a parity for men in every panel, so we also have one. And OK, everybody's here. Please take the seats. Since this is the panel before the lunch, we feel obligated to finish on time. We'll keep that promise. But there's a lot of very talented and experienced people to talk to. So I will not do much of introduction to leave as much floor for you to talk. Let me just say a few words about the Fulbright program, which is one of the oldest scholarship programs existing. It was initiated by the US, and it's operating now in 160 countries. In Poland, it's present for almost 60 years. And STEM education is becoming more and more important globally in this program. Also for us here in Poland, it's one of our priorities. We try to keep at least 40% of STEM fields within all our programs, and we encourage men and women from the STEM fields to apply to all our grant programs for students, for PhD candidates, and for scholars. We will be talking about education all along, from primary school to lifelong education for adults. And because of that, we have here experts representing all those fields. Let me introduce you in alphabetical order, not in the seating order, which will be a little bit easier for me. So here with us is Krystyna Boczkowska, CEO of Bosch Polska. A person that probably doesn't need much introduction for anybody interested in business and in technology in Poland. She was starting the Bosch company here in Poland, the chapter here in Poland. She has so many different awards and prizes that it would be difficult to name it. But I would like to mention here that she herself has the STEM education. She's an engineer. And she's also socially involved. She's involved in Congress of Women and in numerous foundations supporting other women and other people in their educational road. Another of our panelists is Magdalena Hudzikiewicz, sitting next to me, who's the member of the board of Polska Press Group. She's with the Polska Press Group since 2005, right? And currently she's the management board member responsible for IT and technological development in the company, so right to the topic. And she's the economist by education. Teresa Jankowski. And don't be misled by the Polish name. She came here all the way from Australia. And she's the CEO and founder of STEM Fast Track, an organization passionate about delivering STEM mentoring programs for young women aged 14-21. She has a background in software engineering, so another engineer in our group, and she worked in tech industry for over 25 years. She created award-winning STEM SISTA Girls Mentoring Program with over 350 graduates so far, and I hope we'll hear a little bit about those experiences. Paweł Poszytek, our Parity for Men. FRSE General Director. FRSE stands for Foundation and Development of Educational System, which is one of the key players at the Polish scene in the education, in globalizing and internationalizing our education as well. Paweł is a language expert and educator. He was responsible at the Ministry of Education and then at FRSE for numerous language competences programs, but also for the Socrates lifelong learning and e-twinning, and he's the creator of the Polish edition of European Language Label. Aleksandra Wójcik-Głodowska. And here I have a very easy task. Do you remember where you partied last night? Copernicus Science Center. So this is the lucky lady who's working there. She's a deputy director for programs development, and her field is strategic planning. She's now developing a completely new part of Copernicus Science Center. It's really incredible what I've heard about it. And Olga Zelen, Chief Operating Officer of Coders Lab IT School, woman of many talents, very well experienced, but also very successful manager and entrepreneur. And Coders Lab is one of the fastest developing companies working on lifelong skills in IT and technology. So I hope to hear more about your experiences. All right. Is the STEM education, is it in the, first of all, is it in 21st century? And is it ready for the challenges? Where do we start? When we talk about children, when do you have to start thinking about it, planning it, and implementing the skills to make sure that children will be ready for the challenges? And Renata gave this example that, of course, when you have any problems with software, you ask your children to support you, but is it really enough? Can we really believe that just kind of intuitive wisdom that children have is enough, especially in mathematics and more advanced technology than your mobile? I'm not really sure about that. And here I would like to pass the mic to Alexandra to talk about Copernicus Science Center experiences that you have there.
Thank you. First of all, you ask if it's enough when, you know, this intuition which we all observe in our children and kids. I think it's a lot, but actually our educational system kind of spoil it and kind of tell them that, listen, this is not really right what you've been doing for last few years of your life. Stop doing this and start just practicing and doing through the scenarios, the lessons, the step-by-step tasks. So that's the pity. The thing is that our children, when we are born, we have such a big need of exploration. You can observe it anywhere. Like children try to check if the gravity is working with each atom, right? They check it with everything. They trying to check what is behind the curtain or what is behind the wall or what is this inside our, I don't know, maybe what is inside our different devices. They try to put them apart, right? They explore all the time and they keep asking questions. So this is the thing what we should do. We should support them in this kind of free way of exploring. And this is crucial. So this is also what Copernicus does. We have different networks of different activities, and one of them is Young Explorers Club. It's a network of it's around 200 places all over Poland and abroad, but most of them are in Poland. And they are made by teachers at schools, primary schools, sometimes kindergarten, and they do after school classes with them, and they do some STEM activities, they do experiments, they let them to just find out about our world. That's what we do. And what I would like to mention here is that what is important, it's not only that we actually have this 100 kids working and doing STEM activities. Of course, this is crucial, but what we do, we actually build a community of teachers all over Poland who are encouraged by us that what they do is the right thing. What they think is supposed to be on the lectures at schools, their opinion matters. And the way they think they should do it, it's the most important thing, and they should follow it at school during the lectures. So that's what we do. We support community of educators and teachers so they think about kind of revolution in education. I can talk about it a lot, but I think I will pass my voice to somebody else.
Okay, thank you very much for this introduction. I think we'll be back to you with asking for more about what you're doing and how you're planning your activities. Teresa, you're working particularly with girls. Our panel is about education in general, but you have some great examples, and can you please refer to them and also tell us about the philosophy behind what you're doing and the reasoning for it?
Sure. I think, stemming back to your original question, I think early exposure is incredibly important for girls, and I like what you were saying about trial and error and testing gravity, and I think that should be encouraged, but also failure, because I think as a society we're so afraid to fail. What if it goes wrong? A lot of the learning is in the failure, and with that comes the resilience. Like, failure is good. You only learn from your mistakes. And I think it's so important to encourage that with children, for them to explore, for them to test, for them to fail, and build resiliency. And I think the place that begins is at home. I think it's very important to have that example at home with both parents, with aunties, with family, to show that they try, they fail, it's okay. And if they see that and that is normal, then that becomes the normal space. But if they believe what they see on social media and everything else, they become that. And that's quite scary to me. I've got 2 adult children. Son's 22, my daughter's 25. And we've always encouraged them to try. Do not complain unless you try. And if you fail, get over it quickly. And I think that's so important. And role models, I think, are so important. positive and negative role models, I think, are very important. My heritage is Polish, my husband's Polish, and I was born in Australia, but my mum used to say to me, you know, very, very important, skończ szkołę, miej fach i zrób coś swego życia. I mama zawsze mówiła, progiem po polsku, za progiem po angielsku. I ona ma 87 lat, ja mam 50 i ja się jeszcze boję. I'm still scared of her. And I think having example women who are strong, accomplished, have failed. Like, I'd love to connect with you women and learn more about your journey, because I think there's such richness to learn from positive example, but also have that, I'll be honest, I did all that because my mum told me to. And Polish mothers are scary, so, you know. I mean that with great respect. But I think it was very good. I had that role model. But I took that and I saw an opportunity at my company that boys were avid problem solvers, but girls were shied away from that. So I thought to myself, if we teach them resiliency, if we teach them simple goal setting, the ability to recover from failure and have that support, then what could happen? And that was the birth of STEM Sister. And I was very lucky working for Motorola, BAE Systems, Saab. I was sent to these programs as a 30, 40-year-old. And I thought to myself, what if we taught that to girls that are 14? What if they learnt sooner? What if they were exposed to profiling? What if they were exposed to money management? 80% of households, women manage money. What if they were strengthened? And so I did. And that's been 5 years now. And it's amazing when you quite seriously encourage failure, show them the example of women that have actually conquered these things. They get a little bit of bravery, and then they literally follow those footsteps. So I don't know if I've answered your question adequately. I hope so.
You did, but if you could go a little bit deeper into the methodology of your mentoring programs, that I think would be quite interesting for the audience and for myself, for sure.
I'd love to. I do talk a lot, so I'm monitoring myself, but I'd love to. So the program is 4 days. It is delivered over 9 till 5. It is delivered at partner companies. So it's run, for example, we run it in Australia with Microsoft, with Intel, we've got a virtual reality company that makes VR goggles. So we take them out of the classroom. They have to wear full uniform. They're 14 years of age. They are brand ambassadors for their schools. And over the 4 days, we teach them resiliency, goal setting, Covey's 7 habits, money management. I do not teach them STEM. I bring in STEM ambassadors to the classroom. So, for example, you ladies could be speakers, and we interview the speakers and men, what they did at high school, uni, what they do and why they love it. And the girls interview the STEM speakers directly, and it opens their mind up to the potential careers that they could have. Because they only know what they know based on their family, their social circle, and their social networks, which is limiting. But if they see, for example, there's one girl that comes to the program, she's Chinese, Australian, she's 4 foot something, she's tiny, she's a mechanical aerospace engineer and a lawyer, and she heads up the 3D printing labs at BAE Systems. And she is incredibly empowering, very confident, and just loves technology. So when someone like that comes into the classroom, and we've got 15, 14-year-old girls, and they hear her talk about how excited she is about the future of technology, they go, wow, God, if she could do it, you know, she's an immigrant, blah, 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 interesting background. And she overcame. So the program's 9 till 5, 4 days, hosted at professional companies, and I bring in the STEM example people into the classroom for the girls to learn from. And it inspires them. It really inspires them to actually pursue. So the goal is they choose STEM subjects, they finish high school and then enter university or further education in a STEM career. And then we have alumni. Each year we have alumni where we continue the collaboration. And then the girls which graduated several years ago, they come back as speakers now. So they're actually passing it forward and teaching the new girls. So it's quite a privilege. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to do what I do. So does that answer your question?
That looks, yeah, it looks like you're really lucky with that kind of job. Okay, so let's move now from particular examples of activities and great programs to more systemic approach. Paweł, could you tell us your opinion on the topic, and how is your institution also supporting it. And before we entered the stage, there was a discussion more from the parents' view about the curriculum, curriculum. But if you could refer to that, that would be also great.
Actually, I would like to tell you about two examples, and the one which belongs to this structural kind of solutions was my second choice, but if you want to start from this, no problem. Yes, as probably most of you know, especially the ones from Poland, we are undergoing a kind of educational reform in Poland. I'm not going into details because it's a very controversial thing, but I think that it's worth mentioning when we talk about STEM that what has just been introduced to Polish schools is a new kind of approach or a new kind of new solutions which are somehow guaranteed by the new curriculum framework within IT education. So the biggest difference now is that this IT education includes the elements of coding. So it means that from the very beginning, starting from the primary schools, all the teachers teaching IT are supposed to include coding into their teaching. This element hasn't functioned in our system so far. I do not want to simplify things, but we do not have a lot of time, so I'm just, using certain images to depict the whole situation. But all the parents know, and we also covered this kind of discussion, that basically it's like in a primary school during IT classes, it's like playing with paint and playing with the mouse, things like this. Obviously, it's a simplification. I do not want to undermine what has been going on in Polish schools so far. But actually, the new educational law introduced this element of coding as early as possible from the primary school. Now the question is if it is going to happen, because there is one thing that you write something as the law, the other thing is implementation. I represent the institution, European institution, which has got a lot of money for different kinds of grants to somehow help and foster the whole process, and we have a lot of successes in this field. I can only mention, for example, eTwinning program. Within eTwinning program, this is a pan-European program. We are organizing not hundreds, but plenty of different kinds of initiatives and workshops and activities connected with training teachers how to do it. One of the living and vivid examples is our educational mobile education track, which can be visited outside the building. We are showing how we teach teachers, what kinds of materials we use, how we motivate them, how we want to inspire them. This track is cruising all around Poland, visiting even small places, distant places. So it's a long story. But the most important thing is that we have new educational law, which says explicitly that we have to implement coding into our educational practice. Why this is very important? Because this is a kind of preparation. We are trying, by this, what we want to achieve. We want to prepare young people to think in a structured way, in a more organized, structured, and such a way which can prepare them to learn STEM subjects like physics, math, and so on. So it's a kind of preparation before they really get into the real thing. So that's one thing. So that's one of the answers. Where should we start? Yes, it's going to start early in a primary school just to get prepared for learning and teaching STEM subjects. But I can also tell you about a very interesting initiative. This is a pan-European initiative organized by universities, associations, and schools. This is a big European project, which shows that we can also start from the kindergarten. The project is called My Machine, and it includes different educational targets, different people from different educational levels. So the project, why the project is called My Machine? So the idea is that the kids in the kindergarten and from the lowest grades of the primary school, they just write the drawings, My Machine. They are very creative, and they are drawing something which does not exist in reality, but they would like such a machine to function in their life. We know that they are very creative, so they really write and draw very interesting things. And then when we have those drawings, the students from STEM faculties at universities, it's their task then to design those machines, if it is possible, because sometimes, you know, creativity of those kids is really impressive, and sometimes it's impossible. And when the machines are designed, then the students from vocational schools have the task to build those machines according to those designs. This is a perfect example showing how different groups, how at different levels of education, we can all together, we can promote and do something within STEM education. I do not want to go into details because, well, it's just the example showing that at the level of kindergartens we can raise the awareness. Then obviously when those machines are created, those little kids obviously can meet these people from higher levels of education and ask how it actually happened, and if it is possible to explain, then the explanation is provided. But this is a very good example to show how we can start from the early stages, even if we operate only at the level of raising the awareness. I do not want to go into the details because I'm not an expert at teaching kids, but Polish programs in the Polish educational system for teaching kids at kindergartens include the education based on mathematics, yes, but I'm not an expert, so I'm not going into details. But, well, it happens, yes. So actually, we can start as early as possible. And the last thing, just to make things short, because I noticed that a lot of speakers somehow relate also to their personal experience. And my area of research and most of the things that I have done is not within STEM area. Yes, I'm doing different things. But actually, when I was at the upper secondary school, my class was math, physics oriented. And I think that without this kind of experience, it wouldn't be possible for me to do the things in humanistic area which I'm doing, and also in the area of management and other things. So that's my personal experience. We need, whatever route we are taking in our career, STEM subjects and STEM education is really important.
Thank you for that last sentence. We'll refer to that a little bit later, moving to our business ladies here. I just want to mention that my younger son recently had an idea of a machine that would do all the housework and the homework. So good luck for the vocational school students to build it. I would really love to have one like that. Alexandra, I think you want to add something.
I just wanted to comment and maybe say a little bit more about, just in a short sentences, in short time, about new initiative of Copernicus. I'm responsible for so-called Copernicus Revolution Lab. It's our new R&D center where actually we're going to develop educational tools, but what we want to do, we want to actually cooperate, and we already do it, with psychologists, sociologists, pedagogists, and engineers and people educated in the science field and technology, to think how to create educational tools where children are more engaged, they learn in more efficient way, they actually gain some skills, not only the way some knowledge, for example, of some phenomena, but also they gain, for example, they learn how to think in a critical way, how to solve problems. These are skills which are supposed to help them when they go through the life to go through more complicated tasks. So when we are very happy that we're going to have program classes at primary schools, because then we can actually join this program and to look at the tools for that, where children are really engaged. Because I don't know if you notice, these days children get bored with any gadget which we buy them, and they just treat it as another toy. And that's actually inspired us how to design this kind of tools so they not get bored, they get engaged. Remember, there are always children which are, when they think that they're not as good as supposed to be, so they really go away from getting engaged in it, so they don't want to participate in a class. And we want to work with psychologists to really develop this kind of tools that help them to engage and help them to build their self-awareness, self-efficacy, so they can actually do this. And this is what's going to be, this is our main goal in the new initiative in Copernicus.
Thank you. Teresa, talking about tools, you brought some books with you. Could you tell us about the books you brought with you?
Sorry?
Could you tell us about the books?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I was really engaged. I'm really enjoying this. I'm taking so many notes myself. Yes, I'd love to. So during the 4-day program, the students have to read books. So there's actually 2 books they have to read. One of them is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and it's about daily decisions which you make, very small decisions, which actually create your life. And the other one is on money management. But the 2 books I'm actually reading now, because we're traveling around Europe for 5 weeks, is one of them is called Dream It, Pin It, Live It. I think it's very important to actually have goals. And I'm sitting here because I set a goal. I set a goal to speak at 10 events this year, and actually no, 6, and it's 10. The last one's tomorrow in Amsterdam. So I'm a big believer, and I think especially the students that we teach, they're not able to do this because their fear of not achieving the goal is so strong. They don't want to set the goal, or they set it and it's too low. It's quite scary. So I share with them vividly what I plan to do and how crazy it is. But like they say, if you aim for the stars and you land on the moon, it's a good thing. So I always read 2 books. This one's fun. It's actually a workbook. My background's engineering, and I love what you said about the way learn how to think. I have if-then-else diagrams at home. I have problem-solving charts. My husband has a data flow diagram of how to handle me when he upsets me. So first level of anger, he makes me herbatka. Second level, it has to be herbatka with a herbatnik, a cookie. Okay. Third level, he has to get me Ben & Jerry's. Okay. And the 4th level, I have to have Gofri. He has to take me out. So if then, he follows the diet. We also work on cars on weekends, so we vividly as a couple use problem solving. And it's good, it's very useful, it's very applicable at the dimensions. So fun book and a serious book. This one's about lessons in leadership. And I don't like American football, but I like the guy's mentality about living above the line. And this is about choosing the ethical right thing to do once, and then you live your life according to that. So it's pretty deep, but I like a bit of a fun book and a serious book. And the students that attend the programs have to read as well, and they must, because I think it's important to read because you've got someone's life in front of you that you can learn from. And I think it's a good habit that students coming through now don't have. They just read quickly on their phones. They don't actually immerse themselves and use that reflective thinking. What does it mean to me? So they have to read 2 books before the program. They don't like it. but then we dig deep from what we've learned from those books. So, and I'll continue doing that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. It's good to know that reading books still matters, actually. Let's move to lifelong education, and let's move to what comes out of school and how we end up at work. Christina, with your many years experience and your overview at not one company, but a number of companies and different programs, could you please tell us how you see people entering the labor market and people in the labor market already being prepared for the smart world? And are they actually or not?
Dzień dobry Państwu, ja sobie ułatwię sprawę, będę mówiła po polsku. Domyślacie się, że w niemieckiej firmie głównie się mówi po niemiecku, oczywiście, że angielski też jest obecny, ale myślę, że będzie dużo prościej, jeżeli użyję języka polskiego zdecydowanie. Odpowiadając na Twoje pytanie, no niestety sytuacja na rynku polskim, jeżeli chodzi o pracowników, wygląda bardzo źle, dlatego że system edukacji obecny nie przygotowuje zupełnie młodzieży, dzieci, dorosłych do wyzwań współczesnego świata technologicznego. Technologia, proszę Państwa, pędzi w tak niesamowitym tempie, że czasy, które ja jeszcze doskonale pamiętam, kiedy się kończyło szkołę i mówiło się, zamykało się ostatnią książkę i mówiło, koniec nauki na całe życie mamy za sobą tak naprawdę. Ja się temu systemowi edukacji przyglądam, dlatego że właśnie jestem ciekawa, gdzie ten błąd został popełniony i tak naprawdę, gdzie powinniśmy zacząć jego naprawę. I tutaj absolutnie podzielam zdanie wszystkich moich przedmówców, że to powinno się zaczynać bardzo, bardzo wcześnie. To znaczy naprawdę już w przedszkolu. Dlaczego? Dlatego, że w szkole polskiej jest ogromna ilość stereotypów, które niezwykle, że tak powiem, narzucają rolę kobietom i mężczyznom, nie mówiąc o tym, że nawet jeżeli się będziemy uczyć kodowania, to jest tylko jeden aspekt tego, co potrzebujemy. I teraz wczoraj, proszę Państwa, sięgnęłam do czegoś, co trzymam już od paru lat, o czym dowiedziałam się od mojego kolegi Niemca, o metodzie, która nazywa się Kumon. To jest metoda takiego japońskiego nauczyciela, który miał 3 dzieci i który również był chyba matematykiem i trochę na swoich dzieciach robił pewien eksperyment, który zakończy się niesamowitymi wnioskami, z którymi chciałam się z Państwem podzielić. Trochę świeża wiedza, więc będę sobie jednym okiem zerkać w te najważniejsze tezy. A mianowicie tenże Kumon powiedział, że po pierwsze dzieci mają niezwykłą zdolność uczenia się, czego rodzice w ogóle nie są w stanie nawet zobaczyć. No, nie doceniają tej ogromnej ilości, tej ogromnej potencji, tego potencjału. I teraz tak, co robi nasz system? System oczywiście zapycha ten pojemnik, który jest gotowy na przyjęcie wiedzy czymkolwiek, tak naprawdę, byle czym. Mówiąc krótko, trochę zaśmieca. Natomiast to, co chcemy na końcu procesu osiągnąć, to jest radość z uczenia się, radość z poznawania nowych obszarów i tę radość poznaje się w bardzo prosty sposób, mianowicie zaczyna się u małych dzieci poprzez rozwiązywanie bardzo prostych zadań. Te dzieci rozwiązują zadania i są zadowolone, są szczęśliwe z siebie, że rozwiązały te zadania. Budzi się w nich wiara w siebie, a następnie odwaga do zadań trudniejszych. To jest coś, co przechodzi taki proces, że najpierw z ciekawości budzi się zainteresowanie, a potem się rodzi z tego duch badacza. To jest niesamowite, co z takim dzieckiem zrobić można. To jest metoda, która jest sprzedawana, bo to jest taka franczyza trochę i ona ma jeszcze niesamowite 2 zalety. Po pierwsze, te dzieci odkrywają same swoje kompetencje, to znaczy one naprawdę uczą się w tempie takim, jak powinny się uczyć i tego, co chcą się uczyć. W związku z tym zdobywają radość z uczenia się, ciekawość świata i umiejętność uczenia się przez całe życie, co jest dzisiaj absolutnie koniecznością tak naprawdę. A nauka odbywa się bardzo ciekawie, dlatego że 2 razy w tygodniu jest taki center, w którym rodzice z dziećmi dostają wskazówki, jak następnie dziecko ma tę naukę kontynuować w domu. To jest ciekawe, dlatego że Dziecko uczy się codziennie między 10 a 30 minut. To nie jest jakieś wielkie obciążenie, ale uwaga, w tym procesie biorą udział rodzice. Rodzice biorą udział w ten sposób, że nagradzają dziecko znowu pochwaleniem. Czyli rodzi się bardzo przyjazna więź między rodzicami a dziećmi, czego tak naprawdę w dzisiejszym świecie nam brakuje. Czyli niewielkie obciążenie, natomiast dzieci po pierwsze są pewne siebie, po drugie wiedzą, co chcą robić, po trzecie mają umiejętność uczenia się przez całe życie i znajdują w tym radość. I to jest właśnie coś, co chcemy tak naprawdę osiągnąć. I teraz ja tylko chciałam powiedzieć, że mój kolega, który mi zdradził tę metodę, do której ja wczoraj sięgnęłam, w ten sposób wychował trójkę dzieci. Jeden jest lekarzem, drugi jest adwokatem, trzeci jest inżynierem. Także proszę zobaczyć, zupełnie różne specjalności. Dzieci przeszły przez ten system edukacji po prostu śpiewająco, bez żadnych problemów, bez żadnych kompleksów. Są otwarte na cały świat. I proszę Państwa, o takim systemie edukacji chcemy dzisiaj mówić. I on jest naprawdę, to jest tak jak mówienie o Księżycu, Marsie, nie wiem jeszcze o jakiejś odległej gwieździe. Ja, prawdę mówiąc, trochę się kopałam z tym systemem, to znaczy próbowałam namówić Ministerstwo Edukacji Narodowej, że takie jest wymaganie rynku i że te szybko zmieniające się technologie powinny znaleźć odzwierciedlenie w systemie nauczania. Jest to bardzo trudne, ale to, co mi się udało, proszę Państwa, zainteresować dwie panie minister, zarówno minister Zalewską, jak i minister Emilewicz, takim pomysłem, a mianowicie STEAM Lab. STEAM Lab jest to laboratorium, które miałoby być w każdej szkole, składające się, autorem tego pomysłu jest pani profesor Plebańska, która miałoby się składać z tych 6 części, prawda? Czyli science, matematyk, technik. Dochodzi literka A, czyli art. I ten STEAM Lab byłby w każdej szkole i uczył tych wszystkich umiejętności, których my potrzebujemy, a które ja za chwilę wymienię i przerazicie się Państwo, bo jest ich tak dużo, tak naprawdę, bo my nie tylko chcemy od współczesnej młodzieży znajomości techniki, których oni się i tak nie uczą, bo naprawdę poziom jest bardzo niski. Na 20 lat w Polsce zniknęła z egzaminu maturalnego matematyka. Także mamy naprawdę wiele do nadrobienia, ale w tym STEAM Labie uczą się właśnie pracy w teamie, uczą się pracy ręcznej, uczą się robienia kompleksowych projektów. Mam nadzieję, że Pan mówi, że jak ma jakieś europejskie środki, bardzo chętnie z tego skorzystam. Dlaczego edukacja STEAM? Kolejny argument, dlaczego powinniśmy uczyć się matematyki, fizyki, tego wszystkiego, co dzieje się w świecie digitalnym. Proszę Państwa, wszyscy na świecie zastanawiamy się, dlaczego wygrywają takie, powiedzmy, partie nacjonalistyczne, które wspierają, prawda, powiedzmy, takie ruchy narodowościowe. Nie wyobrażacie sobie Państwo, że źródłem między innymi tych społecznych i politycznych problemów jest wykluczenie technologiczne. Jeżeli społeczeństwo jest wykluczone technologicznie i nie rozumie, co się dzieje w świecie globalnym, po prostu szuka jakiegoś rozwiązania lokalnego i często chowa się pod tą nacjonalną pokrywką i tak naprawdę, żeby wyzwolić nasze dzieci z tego takiego, powiedziałabym, no, trochę drobnomieszczańskiego i takiego regionalnego myślenia, musimy się od tego oderwać i po prostu rozumieć, jak ten świat naprawdę współczesny działa, używając tych wszystkich metod. To nie znaczy, że ja chciałabym powiedzieć, że w tej chwili otwieramy granice Polski, prawda, i Polska łączy się ze wszystkimi krajami. Nie, ta Polska ma być Polską, ale ma być Polską naprawdę bardzo nowoczesną i mamy być społeczeństwem niewykluczonym i narodem niewykluczonym. I teraz chciałabym Państwu przeczytać, bo to jest bardzo ciekawe, jakie są kompetencje przyszłości. I ja nie mówię o kompetencjach technicznych, bo te też mogę za chwilę zacytować. Kompetencjami przyszłości miękkimi zajęły się zarówno Davos w 2016 roku, to był jeden z bardzo ważnych tematów, ale również Future Work Skills 2020 też zostały już zdefiniowane. Może zacznę od Davos, prawda? Po pierwsze, rozwiązywanie kompleksowych problemów. Critical thinking, creativity, management, leadership, collaboration, emotional intelligence, decision making, helping, negotiations and curiosity. Curiosity to jest to, o czym mówiłam, po prostu ciekawość. Natomiast co mówi Future Work Skills 2020? Kompetencje międzykulturowe. Pracujemy w środowiskach międzynarodowych. sprawność adaptacyjna, międzydyscyplinarność, kompetencje cyfrowe, przetwarzanie danych, wnioskowanie, inteligencja emocjonalna, praca w szumie, uwaga, praca w szumie i współpraca w wirtualnym środowisku. Proszę Państwa, to są kompetencje, must. Czy ktoś słyszał, żeby polskie szkoły uczyły takich kompetencji? Nie ma tego i naprawdę bardzo szybko te kompetencje musimy wdrożyć. I teraz odniosę się do Pana też wypowiedzi. Ja jestem inżynierem, Pan też, tak? Ale coś Pan z tą techniką i matematyką miał. Naprawdę to strasznie pomaga w robieniu biznesu. Znaczy naprawdę i kariery. Nasze myśli są uporządkowane, rozumiemy świat techniczny, mimo że on zrobił jakieś tysiące kroków do przodu, to jednak ta wiedza, którą ja zdobyłam podczas studiów technicznych, naprawdę jest niesamowita, dlatego że ona mnie nie wyklucza. Ja po prostu, nawet jeżeli koledzy opowiadają o jakichś bardzo wirtualnych rozwiązaniach, to mając ten background techniczny, ja jestem w stanie to naprawdę zrozumieć. Także po prostu STEM, uczyć się, wspierać, zaczynać naprawdę bardzo wcześnie, bo współczesna gospodarka tego potrzebuje.
Thank you very much. I would like to move now to Magdalena. You're working in a media hub. It's a company that is comprising of many regional media, right, all over Poland. So you have people with all sorts of skills. Yet you're also moving into the virtual world more and more. How does it look like from your perspective? Can you also give us some examples?
Yes, I would like to start with saying that I'm really proud that I'm sitting here among such really amazing people. I'm happy because I'm representing so-called legacy business. So several years ago, I think that I couldn't imagine that I will be sitting here among 2,500 women in tech because I was educated in finance and banking. So I'm the economist because I started my career as a PR manager and marketing manager. And several years ago, it was impossible to enter the tech world without any engineering or mathematician knowledge and education. And now I'm sitting with you, and I'm very proud of it, because 4 years ago I was nominated to the board of Polska Press Group, and I'm responsible for technology, for IT, for data management, marketing as well. So, and I'm the same example as a lady from yesterday panel, also about STEM education. This lady was Lori from M3M, as I remember. She also has the same path, career path as me. So I'm really proud of this, that I'm sitting with you, and I can speak about my experiences. However, what I would like to say is that the technology is not elitarian anymore. Now it is egalitarian, because it is not the attitude of only of Google or Facebook to be technological business. Also, my business, so the legacy business, press publisher, can be a technological company. And we are the technological company. We have technology in our distribution. We have technology in printing plants. Of course, we have technology also in my technological department. We develop regional services, classifieds, etc., etc. And we have a really, really huge range. We have, we reach 70% of Polish internet consumers, so people that are present on Polish internet. So that is why we need really customer-oriented products. To have customer-oriented products, we need special skills, not only skills dedicated to technology, but also multidisciplinary skills. And we are very, very open for people from different faculties, from STEM faculties as well. And together with me, there are today on the conference, there are 5 girls from Gdańsk, from our technological department. I have 2 examples of Maria and of Anna. Maria graduated biochemistry and also pedagogical faculty. And now she is working as the UX designer. So she creates special customer-oriented solutions for our regional services. And she says that she uses the knowledge of the brains, of human brains. So she exactly knows how to create the application to reach the right people. The second lady, Anna, she is a backend programmer, and she graduated from physics. She is physics and biochemistry. She said that programming was her plan B, and she finished with programming. She is very talented young woman. She's learned herself very difficult programming language. I know that you know, maybe all of you know it. It is C++, but she did it herself. And she started work at Polska Press Group with her own skills. But she's saying that she will never leave it. She will stay with programming. I'm also proud to be here because here is my daughter, Hannah, sitting here. She is 10 years and she has the dreams, and one of her dreams is to become an astronaut. And I would really like to help her, maybe with the program that Christina, you said, to fulfill her dreams, because it is not easy to fulfill such a dream in Polish education, believe me. I can say only one example. She is the victim of the education reform, and she has the new program, but kids that are 1 year older than Hannah, they had just science, yeah, science that combined geography and biology. And now Hannah is the victim, in my opinion, because she has biology as the separate subject, and geography, the separate subject. And what she learns on geography, she's learning the scales, the map scales. Can you imagine that in the era of Google Maps, the kids in Poland learn the skills of how to transform the scale, the map in the scale? I know that it's good for the math, yeah, but I'm not sure it is good for the geography anymore. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Magdalena. So we know so far that we have to start early as possible. We know that educational system, not only in Poland, probably is not necessarily matching everything we would like to see there. We know that there's a lot of additional programs that can support education of children from kindergarten through primary school, through secondary school. And you gave us a lot of insight into how it works already at the labor market. So now the cherry on the cake. Olga, please tell us, what is your company doing? What is the reasoning behind having this sort of courses that you're proposing. I was really amazed when I was scrolling through your offer that you're even offering the courses for mothers that want to come back to the labor market, but that's just one example. You have a whole variety of possibilities. I'm actually wondering, what could I gain? I'm a political scientist and manager by education and a person working in nonprofits all their life. What could I gain from taking part in one of your initiatives?
Okay, thank you. We are a school, IT school, and I think we are a part of a non-formal education. It is good for us now because we want to change the education. Of course, I will answer your last question, but in a minute. Do you know that less than 50% women in IT don't have IT background, technology background? They studied everything but not IT. Biology, philosophy, Polish language, different philologies, but not IT. And that is why I think that such schools as are needed very much now, because we can teach adults. It is very important because people nowadays want to re-educate, want to learn again something new, something needful, and something which is modern and necessary in a labor market. And that is why we have a lot of trainee on our courses, because our education is quite fast, very effective, and I think that it is the biggest need of nowadays people, to learn in modern way, very effective, touching something, to recognize everything very deeply, not only academical knowledge, but knowledge which is in the context, which we can experience, which we can, when we can do something by our own hands. And programming is a kind of knowledge when we can do something, write something by our own hands, and it is very important not to only read a book about coding, but to do it. And I think, in my opinion, education should look like that. Should allow you to do something yourself. And you asked me about courses for you, yes? Okay. I don't have a technology background either. I am a lawyer. I have human resources background, but not technology. And nowadays, I want to manage an IT company, and it wouldn't be possible without basic knowledge of IT. So if I want to understand well my marketing department, for example, I need to know something about UX design, marketing, performance marketing, social media. I need to work with programmers, with developers, so I need to understand them. What more? I need to understand my son. He's a teenager, so as you can wonder, that he's a programmer too. And for me, IT knowledge is very necessary to be in modern society and to be IT employer. So this way.
I feel very encouraged now. Okay, what I particularly like about all of your all of that you were saying was that actually the social scientists were referring to the technical skills, while the engineers were talking about the kind of social skills that are needed, which really says a lot about the STEAM or STEM, however you're properly saying it, and the need for that in more and more interconnected world. We're about to finish soon, but since this is an international conference, and I keep you speaking English, and there are many people who came here from all over the world, girls and boys, and I truly believe that there's an added value of international cooperation. This is not a thesis, not a hypothesis. This is a thesis that I have. But I would like to hear from you, from those of you who would like to have very brief last 1 minute speech, to give some examples or to back that thesis. Do you see that in education, in STEM education or in modern education, that international cooperation can bring added value, can provide additional, something additional to what we're doing? And I see Paweł grabbing the mic.
Very short example. Within those European funds, over the last 3 years, we have sent something like 100,000 students from vocational schools and from Technika. This is how we call some kinds of vocational schools. So over the last 3 years, with the European money, we've sent 100,000 students from these schools just to go abroad to foreign companies from 3 to up to 6 months to have a work experience. So they had a chance to see the technology, the top technology used in their profession. It does not have to be, well, different types of professions: automobile profession, cooking, carpentry, whatever. So on the one hand, they had a chance to touch and use top technology used in their profession, and then come back and be very valuable persons on the labor market. But also, along with those skills, STEM skills, they also developed those soft skills, which all of you mentioned. So they learned how to cooperate, how to solve the problems within the international group, how to communicate, how to be creative, and many, many other soft skills. Actually, the whole list that you provided is there. So it is a good example how all these areas which were mentioned here, all these aspects, how they intervene and how they are realized in practice.
Thank you.
I really support the international collaboration, and I think it's not just the technology that we share, but it's also the culture that we bring to the table, literally the different cultures that we come from and our backgrounds, and I think everyone's on a journey, and where you are, and when you collaborate with other people, it's like an intersection where you can share at a certain point in time, and I think there's huge benefit, and I think having technological IQ, if you like, is important, but with that you need the emotional quotient to be quite high to respect the other cultures. So I think you have to develop both aspects. That's my, but I'll keep it short because in the interest of time.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ja może tylko powiem, że też bardzo chętnie dzielimy się swoją wiedzą i myślę, że jeżeli powiem, że mamy 70, czasami do 80 praktykantów w firmie, która liczy 500 osób, czyli prawie 15%, i to są osoby, które nagle zaczynają przebywać w zupełnie dla siebie nowym środowisku, w którym mogą się wiele nauczyć, mają dostęp do wszystkich systemów, mają dostęp do kolegów za granicą. Także widzimy, jak niesamowicie w ciągu 1 roku się rozwijają. Często mówią, że ten rok spędzony w Boschu to w zasadzie studia, które właśnie kontynuują. Także to też jest taka forma, powiedziałabym, trochę pomocy, ale też pokazywania, jak wygląda świat globalny, ponieważ nasza firma jest firmą globalną i oni na co dzień oczywiście nie kooperują tylko z klientami polskimi, ale z całym światem, to znaczy z Australią, ze Stanami Zjednoczonymi i widzą tą globalizację tego biznesu teraz.
Alexandra, can I ask you?
Yes, I'm just wondering what to add to those speeches before. My organization is a place where we actually think how to teach teachers, educators, and how to work with children. We are in this network of science centers, and 2 months ago I attended a big conference in United States, and there was main topic for science centers and museums, and the main topic there was how to engage people in STEM education. Still. So it's when we sometimes just look at the United States, oh my God, they are the best, you know, this is where we should go. Actually, they have the same problems. I mean, of course, diversity and differences in culture and so on, it's of course a different thing. But however, there are same obstacles. They are looking how to engage more people into STEM education, how to open different communities for that, and they share their experience. What I got there, it's that that's what I got. They are very keen on, and they very easily put anything what they learn into small frameworks, into small instructions, and they share it online. They are like all websites when they share what to do if you want to start STEM education, what to do if you want to do it at school, after school, at your home, and so on. So this is what we should learn. We should actually share our practices, and that's what inspired me there.
I would add only one sentence, because when talking on business, thank God we all speak English, or most of us speak English. So, and thank God we have all the digital mobile phones. We have Facebook, we have Google. We can participate in such big events like today. So I would say that we are globalized thanks to international cooperation, and thanks to digital transformation, and thanks to English language. So in my opinion, international cooperation just exists, and there is no question whether there should be international cooperation in any area or not. It is just happening, and we should take part, all of us, in all international initiatives.
Yes, obviously I can agree with previous speakers, but I want to add something. As we can see today, such events like today are very necessary. So when we are talking about international cooperation, it is crucial to support each other, especially when we are talking about women. Because we have different experiences and different cultures, so in my opinion, it is the most important thing is to support. I can use my time, I can see it, yes. But I want to give you one advice. Please learn. Learn all the time, especially STEM, because it is worth of it. But technology, because employers are waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, the blame for crossing the time is always on the moderator, so that's me holding you in this room. I'm very sorry. We're just finishing. I would love to have 3 hours to learn more from you and let you exchange your thoughts, but we've got to finish. But I would also love to have one day more tangible results and actually send Hania to the space. So I hope that, you know, there will be more than just talking. We'll make use of all those great experiences, and we will see in a couple of years great things happening. Thank you. Big applause for the speakers.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.